Hi, everybody. It's your girl, the Flint interpreter, Bella Hayes, and I am back. At least I think I am. um, Last year, I started saying things are getting crazy. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and there was. I did the first video ever, I think, since all the craziness started falling out. A little while ago, a couple weeks ago, I did a review. One of the Aldi's in our neighborhood is it got a complete makeover. So, of course, I went through the new Aldi's and I did a review of it once I got back out in the car. I got some footage inside the store. So you can look for that. I'll probably post that. But as far as recording Sunday school lessons in English and in sign language and just interpreting different things, I haven't done too much. I said the craziness started in October. Really, it started before September. And it just continued to get crazier and crazier. To finally, things are not the same, but they're not totally as bad as they have been, and I'm hoping they don't go crazy again. um, uh, there's a lot that would happen that went on, um, just from trying to get a break at the end of before school started again, and just wanting to go or went away on the Deaf Women's Retreat, and my mother begged me not to go, but I went, and when I came back, she just got worse and worse and worse. She got to the point where she did not get out of the bed. She was basically bedridden, and I couldn't be at her house watching over her and here watching over the blessing, trying to make sure the blessing's in class at the same time. So her condition got worse, and finally she went to the hospital, and that was in November. She went to the hospital. And then in December the 29th, I went over to the house and I got online and I helped my dad redo his barbering certification for the state. And then we tried that new thing where you order food and they bring it to your front door. And about 10, he called and said the food wasn't there yet. And so I checked around, and I called him back and I told him it's there. It's either at the front door or the back door. And that was like 11ish at night. And the next day, they didn't get everything. So the lady messaged me and told me she was three things she didn't get. So the next day I happened to be out to the store and I'm like, my daddy wanted these things. I'm going to get them. So I looked and I found two out of three, and I'm like, I'm going to get them right to daddy. And I went over there and I found where uh things just didn't go the way they were planned the night before, and I found my dad, and so I had to call an ambulance, and he didn't want me to, but I didn't know how to deal with the situation on my own, so I had to call for an ambulance. Once the ambulance got there, they took him to the hospital. When he was supposed to be released from the hospital, I told them Majestic or the Oaks of Whitfield. They said, well, your mother is at this other place. We'll just send him there so the two can be together. The place they sent my dad and my mother had been taken to, there's a place here in Flint. It's called Kid Haven. It has a very bad reputation. A lot of people die there. Well, it turns out that the place they sent my parents has a worse reputation than Kid Haven. And so my mother, we were going through court and all this stuff. Everything was tied up in court. And long story short, we got mother back to the house. The day that I was supposed to bring daddy back to the house, they had already shipped him to a nursing home in Detroit. They said he had COVID, and they had him approximately 24 hours, maybe less. And then they shipped him to Detroit receiving. Once he got better, I had him brought back here to Flint, and I guess his insurance ran out, so then they had to move him again. And I don't know how, but somehow he caught pneumonia, and they shipped him to the hospital. And now it is the 11th of December, and I do not have a dad. My daddy died October the 19th, 2022. This whole year has been spent even before 2022 began, I was dealing with courts and medical staff and legal staff and government and just everything all at the same time. I was supposed to be watching my daughter in school. Could not watch her until her one screen only pay attention to the teacher. She got behind, but she finished the school year. All this time, I should have been recording Sunday school lessons, but it's like, you know what? I have to deal with real life right now. I can't get to my set to record. I don't care if it is someplace that's totally accessible to me. I can't right now. I was on call, just in and out between the two. I was on call 24/7. Um, just knowing that the phone could ring at 2 in the morning, and one time it did, and that's when they told me they were sending Daddy to the hospital, and that was right before he died. Um, so I'm thinking, I was looking at some wrestlers the other day, and they were saying they need to post something on their YouTube page. So I kind of felt, yeah, I need to get back to work. But I'm still here in my hometown, and here it's becoming a very small town, and things are very vigorous here. And I've gone through a lot to be an interpreter. I've gone to various places, gotten books, taught myself. I went through a whole college course the whole time I was there. I learned a lot. I've gone through workshops, seminars, and conferences, and while I was there, I was made, it was easily made known to me that I didn't fit in because of various reasons. I mean, I love God. I don't party. I don't have a lot of sex out of marriage. Uh, and so I didn't fit in. And because they said I didn't fit in, they didn't want me around. So, I was not always treated the best. And so that was when I was training and trying to get ready for the state exam. Finally, I got state certified. And then they took down the test and they replaced the test. And not only did I not do so hot on the new test, I guess a lot of people did not do good on the test. A lot of people quit. A lot of people retired. A lot of people packed up their fat cat, their family, the dog, the goldfish, and moved to another state where they could work. So I didn't do that. I stayed here and tried to get ready for the new exam, but I couldn't find a whole lot of people to help me get ready. I tried my best to train myself. Not too good because I didn't know what to expect. So at this point, I am still uncertified. I am allowed by law here in the state to interpret religious events, but I was state certified at one point to interpret in schools or whatever. I had a low score, but I was still allowed to work. And even though I had passed the test, it doesn't matter now. In this state, you have to pass the new one, or you're just still considered not good enough. So at this point, I have well over 30 years of interpreting experience. I have a certificate of deaf studies, an associate of deaf studies, an associate of interpreting, and a bachelor's of interpreting. Yeah, and plus 30 years of experience, but I'm considered not good enough. So, I would like to interpret in the churches here in my town, but um, because I have the degrees, I'm not exactly their first choice. So, uh, at this point, I wanted my mom and my dad to see me be successful in that I would be changing the world for the good. I wanted that before anything happened, and now my dad is gone, and I'm still uncertified and not working Monday through Friday. So, at this point, um, I think I'm reevaluating a whole lot of things. I was trained to dress a certain way when you go to certain places, and you have to have this and you have to have that. But you know what? At this point, I am just totally rethinking life altogether. Um, just to say that I am successful, I have to change the rules of what successful is. So if I have to change the rules of what successful is, then I'm going to be changing a whole lot of rules on what is successful, what is not, what is a good person, what is not. Of course, one of the first prerequisites is try and listen to what God says. Try and do something that would be pleasing to God. Try and accept his son Jesus. Um, like I said, at this point I'm thinking about um that chapter over in Ecclesiastes where it says, meaningless, meaningless, a chasing after the wind. That just about describes life at this point. I am almost getting to the point where I should get ready to retire, and I have nothing saved because most of the time I was not allowed to work. So there were many days I saw nice things I'd like to buy for my child and I could not. Sometimes my child would say, I would like to try that vegetable there or that fruit. And I'd turn the cart in the opposite direction because I didn't have the money for it. We'd be watching TV and my child would say, "Oh, I want that, mommy." And I'd turn the channel so that the child couldn't point to it because I couldn't get it. That hurt. I the American dream says you work, you find something you love to do, you get good at it, and you can succeed. And I trained hard. And I've been told by various people in this profession that I have skill. I have trained, I have skill, but for some reason around here they still don't want me to work. So, um I'm rethinking life. I'm rethinking a lot of things because I just at this point, like I said, I wanted both my parents to see me be world changing, changing the world around me for the good and doing it consistently. And I don't know if I reached that goal. So at this point I am rethinking a whole lot of things, and um I'll probably keep the YouTube channel and I will continue to post things. I will start posting more things there from my sport. Um I will try to get into all my pages and post there and Facebook. I'm gonna try and get back into all my YouTube, Facebook, all those places I was before. I'll try and get back in there. Some I think I've been locked out of. Um, as far as recording, yes, I'll post things from my sport. Um, I'll probably still post some religious content, but if I do anything else in the sign language, if I do religious work, whatever, at this point, I don't know. I don't know anymore. I've done all I can do to make the world a better place, and I've been fought on every hand. And so, like in various other things, at this point, I'm telling God I quit, and He can do whatever He wants to do because clearly I have so many enemies and people who hate me because I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party, I don't have a lot of sex out of marriage, I don't do this, I don't do that. And you're so heavenly minded. You're no earthly good. Really? And you're a professional. Or what I heard from the church. Felicia? Yeah, Felicia, we chased her out of town. No, baby, I am still here. I have been here this whole time, raising my family, raising my child. I never left. I am right here. Well, in any case, if they see it, if they don't, at this point, I don't care. I, at this point, predominantly, I quit everything. And Whatever happens next is on God, because it will clearly be his move and not mine. Because in this place, I can't even, I couldn't even support a turtle if I had one. Honestly, I couldn't do it. So if anything good comes of my life, it's because God did it, and not because of all the training and the work and the studying and the test prep and the testing that I've done. Clearly, all that is to no avail. So, if anything happens good of my life from this point forward, it's clearly God. So, this is the Flint interpreter, Bella Hayes. I will post this, and anything past this video clearly is all God, because I didn't do it. You guys have a blessed day. This is your girl, the Flint interpreter, Bella Hayes. Have a blessed day. And if I don't post again before, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy Kwanzaa.